Wait, I can look at their names. Ah, I know which one it is. I can see a little bit. All right, I'm promoting you. I thought that teardown was great. We only got to look at two brands, but we got really deep into the weeds on Chubbies and on Pair of Thieves, just some silly men's clothing brands. Nick, how's it going?
Hey Derek, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Everybody, I told you earlier at the top of this whole event about notification emails, usually the most underrated and yet highest value emails you can have. With OmniSend, they were talking about that welcome email and how valuable it is. And I didn't want to say it to Greg, but it is true that notification emails are even more valuable, but they tend to fall under a different category, which is why technically I think both people are correct in this one. That's the most valuable, like, marketing email you can send. And now we're going to talk about how notification emails can be blended with marketing in order to create both a better experience and more revenue, which is obviously a key topic today. Nick, I'll let you take it away from here and introduce yourself and Spentley and show us the goods.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And again, here, let me just share my screen quick. Pull this little deck up for you, everyone.
Looks perfect.
So again, thanks for having me. I'm Nick. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Spentley. And really today I'm here to talk about your secret weapon that you can use to provide a better customer experience and drive repeat sales. And the truth of the matter is this is probably something you're already doing, but chances are you're not optimizing it and you're not doing it well enough. And I'm here to help. With a few easy changes, you could be off to the races and really turn a one-time shopper into a long-time customer. And now more than ever, we might be heading into an economic slowdown, and driving retention is critical, because if you can't turn that one-time customer into a one-time shopper into a long-time customer, you're gonna have a hard time, weathering the storm and growing your business. It's critical. And one of the ways you can help achieve that is by delivering that on-point customer experience. So before I get into that and tell you what that secret is, I figured I'd start by telling you a little bit about Spentley and where we started. So I wanted to start with a question, which is, what happens every time you go shopping in a brick and mortar store? Well, the answer is you get a receipt. And that's the origins of Spentley. And if you look at the bottom of that long paper receipt, there's often a coupon, there's a survey, there's probably even a link to go and shop at an online store. But the truth is, if you're like my friend George, those receipts end up in your wallet, they end up lost in your jeans, maybe even in the garbage. So that equates to zero customer engagement. So here's my co-founder, Vincent, and I. We're young college postgraduate students ready to start our entrepreneurial journey. Not a gray hair or wrinkle in sight. And we wanted to wage war on these paper receipts. We thought they were outdated. There's no need for paper receipts anymore. They should be digital. If they were digital, we'd be able to provide better customer experiences. People wouldn't lose their receipts. It's a win-win for everyone. But like naive entrepreneurs just starting out, we tried and we failed, and we tried and we failed. We talked to some of the biggest retailers and point of sale companies there are, but we just failed to get traction. And along the way, we had a pivotal point. A friend of ours who had a business on Shopify came by and said, "Hey, I want to do what you're offering brick and mortar retailer stores. I want to do that for my Shopify store. And I have this thing called an order confirmation I have to send out to everyone. And there's no way for me to really take advantage of it or customize it. Can you help?" So we took a look at Shopify and we said, okay, this makes sense. There's a good opportunity here. And what we really realized is, okay, fine. We're not going to be eliminating the paper receipt anymore. But what we will be able to do is we'll be able to drive that incredible customer experience. And a lot of the challenges that we were seeing in brick and mortar, they didn't exist in the online world. When someone checks out from an online store, everybody gets an email receipt or an order confirmation. And furthermore, the customer is happy to give their email because they want that order confirmation. In a brick and mortar scenario, sometimes that was more difficult. There's a long checkout line. It's difficult to relay your email to the cashier, make sure it's accurate. A lot of challenges there. Those challenges are gone in the e-commerce world. And the next thing we discovered is that the open rates on an order confirmation are through the roof. Like honestly, 300-400% at times on an order confirmation. So when we came to Shopify, we quickly saw that, this is what Shopify was sending at the time. It did the trick. It sent, the communication to the customer that the order had gone through. And that's about it. No branding, no customer engagement at all. And then over the years, I have to be fair, Shopify stepped up their game. They created this HTML email. A lot better, definitely more professional. HTML now, 2 links that go back to the store, but there's an issue. There are 1 million plus Shopify merchants now, and they're all sending this exact same email. Maybe they have their logo on it, maybe they've changed the color of the button, but that's about it. It still is a missed opportunity to interact with your customer and build that relationship. So how do you change this? Well, you could hire a Shopify expert, perhaps you would say, but the challenge here is coding emails is very difficult and finicky. There are thousands of email clients. They're all using code from the 90s, believe it or not. So it's a very finicky, old, antiquated code, and most people, frankly, don't like to code emails. Furthermore, if you want to make a change to that email, you're going to have to hire a developer again and again. So you'd also have to test it across all the email clients. It just really isn't scalable, and it doesn't make much sense. So what can you do? Well, I'll tell you, and that is to install Spently. So at Spently, not only do we help with order confirmation, but we make it easy for you to customize all 21 customer-facing Shopify store emails. More importantly, no coding required. Easy template builder, drag and drop features that integrate with your store, marketing components that you can reward and incentivize your customer to come back and shop again. And most importantly, analytics and insights, so you can actually see how these emails are performing. That's not available in Shopify. So even if you got someone to, hand code these emails for you, you would have no clue how many you've sent, who's opening what are your customers engaging with. So you wouldn't be doing yourself a service. So you saw the other order confirmation emails Shopify sending, the default one. Here's a few examples of some stores that are using Spently. We have Monty & Co. They are a premium handcrafted luggage company in Toronto. They've done a great job of bringing their order confirmation on brand. You have Nude Sticks, a makeup company also here in Toronto, Canada. And finally, you have Mira Penaloza. And Mira Penaloza makes yoga-inspired fashion for women. All 3 of these sites, excellent job of, if you go look at their websites and you go look at these emails, they're right on spot. So that customer has now they've shopped in the store, they get this in their inbox, and they have now had a great customer experience. It's totally on brand. They understand who they're interacting with, and it's almost like a mini version of the shop. You have logos right up top. You have a navigation bar underneath with lots of opportunities to click the different areas of your site. You have order status and a clear call to action and a button for that. Images of the products that were purchased, personalized, unique discount codes. It even has the customer's name in the discount code. And then you have product recommendations, social links. Social links are a great way to build relationships with your customers. If they've shopped once, you want to retain that customer. You have to engage with them on social to build that brand loyalty with them. So here's another store. This is a bit of a deeper dive. This is Kiss. You're probably all familiar with the band. They use Spently. And you can see here what a great job they did at translating what they have on their website over to their order confirmation. So here's a case study of Hat Heaven. Hat Heaven has used Spently for a few months and already driven $29,000 in ROI. And it's simple, really. They brought the look and feel of their store over to their order confirmation. They kept their minimal design. They have a unique personalized 10% off discount code to incentivize and say thank you to that customer to come back and shop again. And they're recommending other hats. They have a group image component here that is showcasing some of their Instagram images, so other people are wearing the hats. And here's a quote. They say, Spently gives me a really big edge in that it makes my hard work really shine through and maximizes my efforts. It's a slow daily grind, but Spently makes sure that none of my efforts are wasted. Emails are a portable storefront that ends up in people's inboxes. And I absolutely love that line. Emails are really a portable storefront that end up in people's inboxes. And that's really what we're doing here. We're extending that shopping experience past the point of purchase, and we're delivering it right in a person's inbox. Next, we have Chaser Brand. Chaser Brand is a contemporary fashion brand that's based on rock and roll, and they have done an exceptional job. They are driving $3.80 for every order confirmation they send. Think about that. That really adds up over time. Phil mentions as a consumer, if he receives an email from a company that has little to no branding, it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence, which is why he was averse to using Shopify's default notifications. So here, again, he's extended his branding from his store right through to his email. When someone shops on your store, they have a certain experience, and with most merchants, that experience stops once the person checks out. They might get a bulk email blast or an automated email further down the line. But in this instance, this customer is going to go right away and they're going to check their order confirmation to make sure that their order came through, and bam, the exact same experience in their inbox that they had in the store. That is an amazing opportunity that most merchants aren't taking advantage of. And again, incentivizing the customer to come back and shop again with a discount, and recommending other items that the customer might be interested in. And finally, we have Leather Up. Leather Up, we were able to drive Leather Up $160,000 in additional revenue in 2 months. And they say here that since opting in for Spendly for their store notifications instead of default Shopify notifications, while keeping Klaviyo for newsletters, Leather Up generated 4x more engagement from their existing customers and generating $160,000 in additional revenue with just 2 months of utilizing marketing components. This is incredible. Again, marketing components being the unique discount code component, as well as product recommendations. So we've been talking a lot about order confirmations, but like I mentioned earlier, we support 21 of the Shopify store emails. That's all of the customer-facing Shopify store emails. So order confirmation, I mentioned, order edited invoice, order canceled, order refund. These 2 emails are an excellent opportunity to re-engage your customers. Oftentimes, these emails come with a negative perspective to them for the customer. They have just asked for their money back, or the merchant has canceled an order. And this is a great opportunity to turn that situation around. You've just given the customer their money back. Maybe they didn't want the product they bought, they changed their mind. But why don't you recommend other products that they might be interested in? Or why don't you give them a really juicy discount on an order canceled email to apologize that you had to cancel the order and you couldn't send them what they wanted, but you'll give them a huge discount to come back and shop again, to retain that customer. Though that is vital. And we see a ton of Spently clients do that, and they drive terrific results through those emails. We also support draft order invoice, abandoned checkout. Abandoned checkout is a massive opportunity. And I'm sure a lot of brands are sending abandoned checkout emails. That's important. But are you taking advantage of the power that email has? Are you incentivizing your customer to actually reclaim that cart? Are you suggesting possible other items to that customer that they should buy? You should be, absolutely. Gift card created, payment error, shipping confirmation. Shipping confirmation is an incredible email. We often see open rates on the shipping confirmation that are over 600%. That means the customer is constantly going back to that email to check the tracking link. And if you're sending a default email from Shopify, you're not taking advantage of all of those 6 opportunities. So every time the customer comes back, they should be seeing products that they should buy, and they should be reminded of that incentive you've left them to come back and shop again. So we support all of the shipping emails: shipping update, out for delivery, delivered, return label instructions, account invite. Derek, you mentioned OmniSend was talking about the account welcome email. This is a really important one that we support. Oftentimes, I think it gets confused when you sign up for an email newsletter, for example. You will often get a welcome email. But what we support is the account welcome email. So on most Shopify stores, there's that account. And if you sign up for it, that means that person wants to be a part of your club. So what are you doing to make that person feel special? And if you're not sending them a beautiful customer welcome email that is a replication of your store, then you're letting them down. How are you saying thank you to them for wanting to be a part of your tribe? Well, sending them a discount would be a good place to start. Or, maybe they're new to your brand. They don't know what to buy. So if they get recommendations from you that, these are our most popular items, other people are buying this, well, that will really help get that person to convert and become a long-time customer. We also support the password reset, contact customer, POS receipt, email cart for POS, and POS exchange receipt. So you might be thinking, hey, Nick, I already do email marketing. I don't need another email provider. Well, the truth is you probably do if you're not taking advantage of your store emails or your transactional emails. And here's some numbers from an Experian report. So it's not biased Bentley data. This is third-party data. They conducted their own study. Well, on store emails, your open rates are on average 114%. In a newsletter or bulk email blast, it's 12. For store emails, you have a 14% average click rate compared to newsletters, 3%. So what that means is you have 10x the open rates on store emails and 5x the click rates. And these kind of results of what helped Spently drive about $500 million in additional revenue for Shopify stores since we've started to help Shopify merchants. So I've shown you a bunch of examples of order confirmations. Let's take a look at some shipping confirmations. So here's 3 brands, Chomps, Recover Pro, and Deuce. They all doing a tremendous job. Again, extending that customer experience. I love Recover Pro here, added the icons to the top of their site. I saw Kurt was just talking about icons, and here's some great icons, and I love that they included their warranty. So you've been shipped your tool, and look at that. It's covered for 2 years. That's amazing. Now that is a good customer experience. I love Deuce as well. On the bottom of their email here, they included 3 different collections of products that they're probably, they wanted to move. So they added great graphics here, wristbands, apparel, headwear. Looks awesome in the receipt. And each one of those are going to be clickable and bringing the customer to that collection on their shop. Abandoned checkout emails. So 3 other brands doing a fantastic job with their abandoned checkouts. I just want to point out Kalo Ring here on the left, doing something really interesting. They are using our referral component to get the potential shopper to share the Kalo Ring brand with their friends. And if their friends purchase, now that original potential shopper is going to get $5 off, and he'll be able to go and reclaim his cart. That is pretty cool. And it works for Kalo Ring. I don't know if you guys know about Kalo Ring, but they are an incredible brand. They're doing very, very well on Shopify, and we're happy to be part of their success. Crown and Paw is also doing something really cool. They're leveraging a time restriction. So you just had something in your cart. A lot of brands that'll sit in the cart for a couple days, could be a couple weeks. And oftentimes it's not reclaimed. Well, here, Crown and Paw really wants you to reclaim that cart. And they're saying, if you shop and use this code within 24 hours, we're going to give you 5% off. So that's how much it's worth it for them, for you to go and reclaim your cart. That's an excellent way of leveraging time and scarcity to work on that potential shopper's buying temperature and getting them to act now. So a couple other emails: gift card, customer welcome, POS receipt. Gift card email on the left here. Oftentimes, you have someone who's a loyal customer and they want to introduce your brand to a friend, so they'll buy their friend a gift card. And here you have a great opportunity to tell this person who may not know about your brand, some of your more popular products. And I love the use of testimonials here on the bottom of the gift card, validating the brand to the potential new shopper. Then you have customer welcome email. Again, vital email. This person wants to be part of your tribe. You're recommending products, you're saying thank you, you're giving them a discount, and you're turning that shopper into a longtime customer. And lastly, here, the POS receipt. This one's special for me and Vin, I'm sure, because we're back at eliminating the paper receipt here with Shopify POS. So a lot of Shopify POS merchants will still print the receipt, and that's okay, but this is a good incentive for the merchant to send an email receipt, and a good incentive for the customer to give their email to receive this, because it's not about spamming them later. That's what everyone's afraid of in the retail space. They don't want to give their email and be spammed over and over and over again. Well, here, they're not going to be spammed. You're not adding them to the list, but you are giving them, a better customer experience through that POS receipt. You're recommending other goods, and it's a great way to take that in-store shopper and get them to then go shop online if you're an omni-channel Shopify store, and a lot of you are. So here's where the magic happens. This is the Spently template builder. It's a very easy to use drag and drop template builder. But what's special about ours is we use something called global settings. So we understand over time, there's 21 Shopify store emails here. It's going to take you a while to customize all of those. So we've built it so that as you're building your order confirmation, the changes you're making on the one email are applying to all your other emails. So saving you a lot of time and effort so you can get back to running your business. So let's take a closer look at the marketing components here. We have our discount component, and we also have our product recommendations component. So let's start with the product recommendations component. You should always be recommending new products to your customer. You see huge brands like Amazon, they specialize in it. They've been doing it for years. We want to give that same support to the rebels, as we call them, the Shopify merchant. And what's happening here is you have an option to use a Spently collection, and we're going to recommend your best-selling items and items that the customer hasn't purchased. So items that will be complimentary. But furthermore, we just released a new feature, part of our product recommendations, which is conditional logic, to give the merchant more control. So I'll give you an example. If you are a bike store and someone buys a bike, you have the opportunity now to select a conditional collection. So if someone buys a bike, only recommend bike accessories, for example. So now you're avoiding recommending another bike, and you're turning that, one-time shopper with a high buying temperature to come back and now buy those accessories for those bikes right away. And maybe you, like in the example here, maybe you're giving him the discount to go do that. And that really, really works well. Our discount component's special. It's different than most discount components out there. Not only are the discounts unique, but we use the customer's first name. So this would be like Nick-0130. And we find that there's a much higher engagement rate with this discount compared to traditional discounts, just because the shopper's name is in the discount component. And here you can offer a percentage off, you can offer dollars off, you can offer free shipping. And just like our product recommendation component that just got an update, our discount component did as well. We just updated design, make it a little bit more engaging. But in the next few weeks, we're also adding conditional logic to our discount component, which is super exciting, and no one else is doing this. So what this does is, for example, if someone on your abandoned checkout email, maybe you don't want a discount on your abandoned checkout email, that's fine. But what if the cart value was really high? What if the cart value was $300, $400, $500? Would you want a discount then to reclaim that cart? Maybe. So we're going to give you the option to do that. So if a customer is checking out and the cart value is over a certain amount, show a discount. If it's below that amount, no discount at all. Now that is very cool, and we're going to see a lot of merchants drive incredible results through that. So lastly, here's a screenshot of our dashboard and some of the high-level results we can drive for merchants. So most importantly, revenue. How much revenue is the app driving for you? We have it here. It's nice and clear. You have lifetime revenue. You also have revenue for the last 30 days, and this is what the stats pertain to here. So email sent, total open rate, unique open rate, click rate, these are all things that you do not see in Shopify. So unless you have an app like Spently, you're not going to be able to track analytics on any of these emails. What's really exciting is later this year, we're going to be revamping our analytics to give even more detailed analytics around revenue, attribution, to really prove our work to our merchants to make sure they believe in the results that we're driving for them. So I just want to say thanks, Derek. It was a pleasure speaking to everyone here today, and I wanted to give everyone a special little gift. Normally, you have 14 days free on any paid plan at Spently, but today, if you email accounts@spentlyhq.com, we'll give you a link for a 30-day free trial. And this is really just, putting our money where our mouth is. I want you to use the app, take the time, make beautiful emails that match your store, and see what kind of results we can drive for you, and see if the app can pay for itself. And I'm willing to bet it will many, many times over.
Yeah, I bet it will. And I think the best thing that people can do right now, or maybe set it in your calendar for tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. before work even starts. Go look at what your notification emails look like today. Are they are they legible? Are they branded? Do they have this discount code functionality? That logic you were talking about is money. I know that's going to make brands money. Do you have the social proof elements embedded? Are what other conditional logic components might you naturally kind of know about, but haven't been implementing or haven't even thought to implement in this component of your business? And once you look at what you have, you're going to realize all the things you don't have, which is what Nick just talked about here today, right? Like that. And you'll see the value kind of present itself from there, and then definitely reach out. Let me put the email address here in chat for everybody who wants to reach out there. And we're going to have this in the show notes. Again, if you guys don't have the show notes on you, the show notes are here, where we recap everything that Nick just went over, everything that everybody else just went over, and all the links and email addresses that you need to have on hand to follow up with each of these different providers. Nick, thank you so much. We're going to move into our final session.
Okay, good luck.
Let's see, we've got Adam. Oh, he's actually the first on the list.